Hello, this is Alan Wheeler again. I'm producing here blended path number 10 called Experiencing Odin, and this is about some experiences I've had with this deity or personified deity of Odin. And I'm working from notes, and I've got quite a few pages here. I may have to record this in two videos. We'll see how it goes here. The first, if it is in two parts, the first one was starting more than a month or more ago, and then I'll put in part two the last few days, some things that have been happening. Now, to start with, in the sources section on my website called A Blended Path, I made some posts called Questions for Odin, and I posted these at the bottom of the sources section in there, the page of sources, and it's linked there. And I listed these questions and posted them as his presence dawned on me slowly, mostly through meditations and conversations I had with the Empress as a personified deity. So you can read the other blog posts or see some other videos to catch up with that. But recently, I started feeling as if this Empress, a goddess experience, has an aspect of Freya, perhaps, who's a counterpart to Odin. And I may mention more at the end about that, if I remember, at the end of the video. But the first experience was some months ago, and during a pathworking conversation in which I was meditating on the picture of the Empress in a tarot card, it seemed that a personified energy called O, I just identified in my mind as O, provided some clear answers to some more cerebral questions I was having. In other words, I was thinking about synthesizing beliefs, blending Christian path with other spiritual paths, and this energy was helping me arrive at some answers pretty dramatically. But I listed the question number 2 that you'll see listed there on the site is, who is O? And why isn't this deity, archetype, or guide, whatever I'm experiencing, why was it not completely revealed? That was my question. And after a few weeks without further experience or contact, and after some advice from a tarot card reading that I had received, I began wondering about O again. And I woke up early one morning, just flooded with energy, feeling strong vibrations in several chakras, especially around the solar plexus and in this Anja chakra region here. And I knew somehow this energy was Odin. After waking up, I came across a YouTube video explaining that it's common that Odin often hides himself as part of the learning process and sometimes answers questions with a question, that this is a common experience. I found out that as the All-Father, the bringer of the runes, and this is one of them that relates to his name, Ansus, which it kind of looks like an antenna and relates to hearing, I think communication with Odin. a bringer of messages. I learned through further research he was often a wanderer like Gandalf, the wizard in Lord of the Rings, who communicates with people in disguise. And so, after seeing all this, I felt that, oh wow, this introduction as O, this mysterious beginning, was very appropriate, even though I had no idea about that. Also I felt a little mercy. He had a little mercy on me because I don't always like surprises and mysteries. The next thing I asked, listed number 3 there on the website, is what is my question? I actually asked, what is it that I want to ask? And I asked this knowing that really it is the question that drives us to seek, to ask, to knock, and that's really the basis of anything, any answers we get in life. And I felt I might not know what my question really is, what I'm really seeking. And the clear answer I felt that I got that morning from Odin was that I often want to know, whether I admit it or not, what I could write in stone. I want to know what's absolute, what's absolutely true. And following this fairly verbal statement, I want to know what I can write in stone, came memories of Heraclitus and his river, and the idea that flow and change are the only constants in life, that the river is in constant flux, although its identity remains the same in that geographical place. After this, the same morning, my wife Kristen woke up, told me she had a dream of encountering William Shatner, the actor who played Captain Kirk on Star Trek. She had a dream of meeting him in Hawaii, which she said was fairly meaningless to her, because she thinks the actor is silly. And but her dream had some meaning to me, because I had attended University of the Nations in Hawaii at one time years ago, and I kind of feel the Star Trek Kirk character embodies a spirit of adventure, kind of like the fool in the tarot deck. And the dream message seems to me telling me to explore boldly where no one has gone before. Hawaii speaks to me that this is a spiritual adventure, because that came from a time in my life when I grew spiritually. A side note is that it was a day or two before I had asked Odin to send me a dream. However, this dream did not come to me on my own timetable. It didn't even come to me directly, as it was Kristen who had the dream. So even the kind of meta message of how to hear, as represented by the rune Ansu's, how to hear from deity, was expanded by the whole experience. Not only the content of the message, but how to hear and receive messages. I'm just going to gloss quickly over 8 or 9 questions that I felt I received answers to that are there on the website. I asked, what can we be certain of absolutely? Are there any principles? I asked how to address the problem of perennialism or universalism. So many different beliefs that people have, they can't all be true, can they? Question 6, can an inclusive approach that sees at least some truth in all spiritual beliefs, can it include agnosticism and atheism? And question 7, how can I connect with you more often and more fully, Odin? And question 8, how exactly do I invoke you and hear from you? And so there, I just have pages of that I won't go through. I did receive another message from Odin during a session with racing artist Wilkinson, who I had a professional tarot reading with, and she is a priestess and also does energy work and guided meditations and other things. And I'm just going to read the message that she gave during that session, May 3rd, 2019. She said, "We are walking up to Odin in a field, honoring his energy, asking him to be present for this session, and asking him what you need to know at this time. And his answer is that you are claiming your truest self, not cerebrally, not from a conscious mind claiming, but from a real inner knowing in the heart, claiming power to affect change through love, but also through presence and not having to apologize for being a stronger energy, but instead from your strength, bringing in other strengths so that all are served on the journey. And you don't have to be afraid of changes that are going to come." Odin is saying that he knows the changes, and your higher self does know the changes, but the changes are not the focus. As it's really about trusting the wisdom within your heart and letting that be poured out from the heart to others as you connect with others, whether online or in life. And there is sacrifice, yes, but on this path as well there is love. And I feel like Odin is saying to you at this time, Alan, that this time is not about sacrifice, but about coming into your home, into your true self. And I feel this is a message from Odin. I think that's a good place to stop, as the rest happened just in the past couple mornings. So let me stop the video here, and this will be the end of part 1 of experiencing Odin. Thanks for listening, whoever's seeing this. It really helps me to work through this, to think about it. And I appreciate you taking the time and hope it could help someone else as well. Thank you.